My name is Sue Ringler, and I work for a Fortune 100 company in the United States as their Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer. Well, working for a company, obviously it's a more proactive approach. We work in over 30 countries around the world, and it's very important that we ensure that employees understand that we don't tolerate corruption, that they have the tools to address any issues that might come up, and they understand what our procedures and policies and what the laws are in the various countries in which we work. Well, it was a number of years ago, and I have to say it was the brainchild of Homer Moyer, our founder, and working with Homer and Jean-Michel Ferrat and some other individuals along the way, we started out with a very basic course, and then over time added more and more information to it so that it would have increased levels of complexity, so that we would use a case study, which I think is a fairly novel technique. Most courses that you'll see that are offered on issues of anti-corruption for investigators and prosecutors are largely courses that are taught where it is through lecture. And sometimes the lecture might be by people from different countries, but you're not asking the participants to demonstrate what their skills are or to try new skills in a very safe setting. Well, I think it's not only important, but it's unique. I do think that it gives investigators and prosecutors from around the world the opportunity to come to Prague to work at the Institute, but not only with their own colleagues, but with colleagues from many different countries. And the benefit of that is it's not the instructors leading the students down a certain path. They learn a lot from their colleagues and from hearing in different countries how prosecutors or investigators are tackling the very difficult issue of corruption in their countries. Well, I always say that I learn far more than I impart when I come here. Even having a background as a prosecutor, it's enormously interesting to work with prosecutors from so many different countries. And I guess what I learn is that we're more the same than we're different. One of my big takeaways is that law enforcement and prosecution bodies in many countries around the world are really hampered by a lot more than the skills of the prosecutors and investigators. This is a wonderful opportunity to enhance those skills. But as we all know, corruption is a problem and an issue that feeds on the social and economic fabric of society, and it's hard to really sufficiently address it without real leadership at the top. I would recommend this course. Obviously, the audience is investigators and prosecutors from around the world, particularly coming from countries that have new criminal justice systems, who have changed the dynamic between investigators and prosecutors and even the judiciary in terms of how they investigate and prosecute these kinds of cases. But I also think that, you know, as we can do appropriately, it's enormously interesting for investigative journalists, for individuals who are in ministries who might not be involved in prosecution or investigation, just to learn more about how complex these cases are, how demanding they are, and the enormous support that individuals in a law enforcement role need from other ministries. I think it would also be important for anyone working in the government in a control function. So you're talking about your internal auditors, individuals in procurement, any government entity that is susceptible to corruption. A lot of the corruption we see is in the area of procurement. And so I think that there are many, many individuals that could benefit from working in this environment with the people that are trying to, sort of rife out the corruption in those countries. It's really a wonderful program, and I can't stress enough. It's not only my own belief, but the feedback we get from participants and also from other individuals that come here to observe it, that a course like this that is so interactive and really based on a case study is a far more effective learning tool than straight lecture. And so I think it's a really unique program, and one that I know will continue to grow and be beneficial to individuals from all over the world.